Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all the honors, praises, glory to Yahweh, by Sham, Yahweh Shai, by Hasham, Mahavakar Kwadash. Honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few brothers and sisters that are listening and also learning in hopes of being saved within these last days. And I hope this lesson is going to be edifying, and we're going to get straight into it. I want to get right to the point. We're going to start off on Matthew's 10th chapter. Okay. I'm going to go straight into it because I believe I'm a man of discernment, and the Lord gives you discernment so you can basically know how to maneuver in these times in such a wicked society. You know how to maneuver because we still have to deal with people, right? We still have to deal with certain people, and you still have to maneuver in this kingdom. So we're going to get straight to it and what the Lord Yahushua told us to do. Matthew 10:16. And behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. It says sheep in the midst. So that would mean you are surrounded by wolves, by the way. And you ever watch a documentary on wolves? Wolves they hang in packs. They're predatory animals, and they hunt in packs. So it says, Yahweh said, I'm sending you as a sheep amongst wolves. So therefore, what they don't really teach you, what people don't teach you is how to maneuver in society without showing all your cards. Be therefore wise as serpents. Why? Because you're sheep in the midst of wolves. And wolves, if they have the opportunity, guess what they do? Devour the sheep. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Wise now. This is where you have to use your wisdom. And harmless as doves. So if it says harmless, that means no physical violence unless someone's putting hands on you and they're getting all up into it. That's when you can use physical violence. But if they're not doing that, don't use physical violence. Harmless as doves. Remember that. So you know how you have to know how to quell a situation with your mouth. All right? How to calm things down. And you have to be wise as a serpent. You have to use his wisdom, apply it to everyday life situations on how to deal with people. Because not everybody has what we have. And again, people got all types of spirits upon them, as you can see. All types of spirits. Some people, they might have had a bad day. May have lost their job. Wife could have cheated on them. Whatever, you don't know. There's a lot of people out here, they ain't got nothing to lose. And when people have got nothing to lose or they got nothing to live for, they will do anything. That's why Yahushua said these things. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils and they scourge you in their synagogue. So we're approaching that time, by the way. Right? And the reason why I'm bringing this out, because more things are being revealed unto us, right? Through the Spirit of the Lord's mouth, and he's exposing a lot of wickedness that's going on. Now, concerning your situation and living space and all that, yeah, you protect yourself as the best you can, but the Lord protects you, but also you have to take the rightful measures. We're going to go into all of this. We're going to go into Proverbs as well. We're going to go into all of that, man. Right? And I quickly want to go into this as well. Say if you're living amongst people, right? And the people that you're amongst, I was chatting to someone yesterday about this. He said he's living in a shared housing, basically. And he said, yep, it's nothing but chaos in there. And this is my thing, right? You're a man of wisdom, but keep this in mind, right? Say if the people that are around you, say if they got a history for basically mental health, right? Mental health or psychiatry or whatever. And you're in that living arrangement around them. And the other people might not be aware. And they may have a bad living standard. They may not look after themselves, right? But obviously you do, right? Other people, they don't think right. So what are they going to do? It's not all. I'm not talking about all people. What are they going to do? They're just going to paint you with the same brush. Oh, he's just a nigger. Yeah, he's just living in a dusty old place, and you have to understand sometimes how the world thinks. You understand? So sometimes you have to, yeah, for your own good, you have to remove yourself from them toxic situations and environments and people. I'm not talking about running scared. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying you remove yourself for your own good, for your own betterment, because people may know or they may not know, but they're all going to paint you with the same brush because all they see is, right, this guy's mad, that guy's mad, this guy, he's got a major issues. So if you're, it's easy to be associated with that, even though you're not associated. Me, I keep to myself, but it's easy for them to paint you with that same brush. So you got to be very, 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 very careful because I've had this happen before in a certain situation, right? Certain mad people were around me. And because with this program, they will try to already you're speaking the truth. They're already trying to label you as something you're not. So you have to be cautious out here. The place that I'm living in, it's being wired up, right? I've got all the proof, I've got all the evidence, I've got everything I need, everything. The place has been wired up. They're using maintenance workers to go into certain neighbors and use these energy weapons on you while you're sleeping. I've got all the evidence, man. Right? So you got to see it as, well, you have to take measures, your own measures, to do what you got to do to protect yourself at all costs, because it's a harsh one. Every man for himself, as they say, right? So you got to do that. You got to use wisdom, and you got to apply the scriptures. And we can't be carnal, and we can't react. Now, I do believe these weapons, they're used because within the so-called MK Ultra program, the reason why I've told you before, the reason why you do have mass killings, and you're seeing more and more of this on the newspapers, some person just ran out in America, had an AK-47 and just let loose on people, and someone in the UK was running around with a knife one day. And I know about this technology more than, I'm not going to say more than anyone, but I have a good knowledge on this technology. And this technology, if you're not mentally strong, if you're not in the scriptures, if you don't know what's going on, yes, they can use technology and frequencies to send people absolutely bonkers. Now you're looking at this person like, what's wrong with this person? Nothing was necessarily wrong with him. This was being done covertly by neighbors, not all neighbors, certain neighbors that have no integrity, that are wicked, that are evil, and by, you could say, certain factions of, you don't want to say law enforcement or maintenance workers. It's not always, because some maintenance workers are not going to take that risk because they don't want to put their jobs and that company at risk. But there is certain, not all, certain maintenance workers, I'm not going to say the company's names, but there is that will do it if they get given a little bit of money and they're part of an organization or a corrupt group. So by all means, I send you forth as sheep as among wolves. You have to know how to conduct yourself, when to remove yourself, when to stay, when to leave. All those things there. You have enough money, you work in an extra job, you save up and you try get yourself in a better situation where you can have your own place and you don't have people around you trying to do all types of mad shit. Because remember, a lot of these people, they're actually mentally ill when you see what they're doing. And don't ask me what, don't ask me why. As soon as I came in, right? I just came in 5 minutes ago, right? Just stepped through the door, right? What did I notice? I noticed frequencies being used. As soon as I stepped through the door. As soon as I stepped through the door. I'm not fucking stupid, man. Right? But I'm a spiritual man and I give it all to Yahweh Shai. Prayer is so important because Yahweh Shai does see. But this stuff is serious, man. You want to be around trustworthy people. You don't want to be around someone that's secretly watching you and they have bad intent. You want to be around trustworthy people. People that are loyal, people that you can trust, people that will have your back as well. Because we're living in that time. The scripture says that the love of many shall wax cold. So let more of these scriptures come out. Let's go to Proverbs as well. I'm just saying these things, and I've got countless videos. So no one can say to me, well, are you sure you're not paranoid? Because they like to use that one, right? Mad. Paranoid. And the same people that will say this will be the same people behind closed doors, community-based agents that are given some of these weapons, energy weapons, to use on the same people they call mad. How does that work? How does that work? So, bro, this is what you got to understand. It's not everyone. It's certain people within the community that terrorize. How you living in your own community, so-called community, and you're terrorizing your own community. You got to be a real doofus. You got to be a real idiot. You're supposed to be looking after your community. So you got people in the community that will try to terrorize people and their own community. Why aren't these type of people being arrested? And here it is, me teaching the truth, little old me teaching the truth, and I'm this big threat. Well, they want to make me out to be the villain, but I'm not the villain. And you got people around here running amok, slamming doors, banging walls. You got them running amok. So you say society is I say this is a sick society we're living in. Sick. You know what I'm saying, bro? So let's go to Proverbs, Baba Kashar. I just thought I'd bring this out, just so other brothers and sisters also know the things I go through as well. I don't let it get to me. I ignore most of it because that's not my reality. These are people projecting insecurities, bro, you don't know, mental illness, all types of things there. So you don't take that on board. But what I'm trying to say is you do take precautions. You protect yourself. You speak to people. You don't isolate yourself. Because that's another thing they want as well, that isolation. Because this only really works if you're isolated. If you're always that's the only time it works. Because if you're isolated, then where's the people? Where's the people that you're showing this to? Where are they? Even though the good thing about this, I have videos, so I'm able to post these videos and spread awareness. And another thing I'm looking to do as well, I might do, is get some paper sheets, them sticky paper sheets, and even post this through people's doors as well. Spread the word. That's see, when you do this type of thing, you have to be action orientated. You also have to spread the word about these type of people and these type of things that are going on, because some people they don't know. So you have to spread the word. Get some leaflets, write out a leaflet, print it out, make people aware of these type of people, what they do, right? And it does work. Hand out flyers, man. This is real. This ain't something that's made up. They want you, see, the whole thing about this program or whatever you want to call it, is designed to, when you speak about it, right? People say, mate, what are you talking about? You need to see a shrink. So when you're speaking about things like this, you have to be precise and you have to know what you're talking about. And you have to present it in such a way where, yep, it's there. Me, I'm able to do that. Why? Because when I'm speaking about it, I'm not screaming and shouting and acting erratic. That's what they want. This is why they use the technology. Why do you think they use the technology on you? So you can scream, shout, say, I'm in pain. Then people are looking at you, what type of pain? I don't know what you're talking about. So just be calm, present what you have, and over time, you have the right people around you. I'm not going to say get a solicitor and court on. Just make sure you have the right people that see it. Because more and more people know about this thing. I've spoke to people about this, man. And they know about the program. Right? You got to be careful out here, bro. There's killers, there's killers running the streets, there's pedophiles running the streets. You've seen the lessons on the trafficking and all that. You've seen the lessons I've been doing. I wasn't mentioning that until I was nearly, a victim of that. Nearly. So that's the only reason why I already speak about it, because I wouldn't speak about it if it wasn't concerning me and what covertly the demons are doing. So let's get back to it. Let's go to Proverbs, Baba Kishore. You need to hear this. We need to hear our testimonies. Our testimonies is what frees us. And I'm telling you, there's people in every community. It's not just one, because that's another thing I want to speak about. Quickly go to Mark. Hold on just a minute. One may say, well, why don't you just move somewhere? Move to another place. Yeah, you do that. But I got news for you. When you speak about community-based agents and occultists or whatever you want to call it, you do know this is a worldwide thing, right? So now you can move, but just know this: if you move, you 8 times out of 10, you may be faced with the same thing. Maybe less, maybe more. Because this thing is everywhere. Say if I move to, what's the example? Say if I move to Nottingham. What, you think you don't have no perps, community-based agents in Nottingham? You probably have more in Nottingham than you do here. You're talking about people that are desperate for money. So if you move to a council estate, don't expect, oh yeah, this is just going to be lovely. Well, people on council estate, they're desperate for a payday, a paycheck, right? That means you may be presented with the same thing, right? Because what's behind this is also technology. Remember, there's different sectors of communities. It's a cult. It's Satanists watching you. I've told you this already. Satanists, traffickers, pedophiles, criminals, certain people in law enforcement. They also get security involved, different security sectors involved. So it's not just one particular group. It's all types of people watching you. You're the main prime target. What they call you, target. You know what I'm saying, bro? I know it's crazy, but listen. Concerning moving, I'm just telling you, yeah, if it's one of them situations where you see, yeah, these people are certain, not all, certain people are just demonic. You don't want to be around that, then you move, innit? You move. You don't stay around that type of stuff. Because if it's not good for you, if it's not bettering your situation, if you know it's trying to hinder your situation, you got to get away from that. You don't want to be, it's for your own good. All right? There'll always be signs, and the Lord, I think he will show you. And energy doesn't lie. Energy does not lie. So let's go to Mark, Baba Kishore. I'm not going to read all of it. You know, when you go to Mark 5 and Yahushua cast out that spirit, which was called Legion, all right? And this was Legion, Mark 5 and 9. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away into the country, out of the country. So them spirits besought the Messiah that don't send them out of the country. So what would that mean? They were still in that region. Yeah, there is regional spirits, by the way. There's regional spirits. You understand? There's territorial spirits that don't want to leave. And I can only speak from my experience. If you're in an area that has more than 2 churches, you may have churches there, a high level of drug dealing, or i.e. even trafficking. Well, what do you think the result of spiritual demonic activity is going to be? It's going to be quite high, right? Yeah. Why? Because them activities are in that particular region. So is this making sense? All right. And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many, and they besought him much that he should send them out of the country, not out of the way out of the country. So now there was nigh unto the mountains, a great herd of swine feeding, and all the devils besought him, saying, send us into the swine that we may enter into them. Send us into the swine. Key thing, into. Swines are unclean, so they wanted something unclean to be in. And guess what the swine's done? ran right into that sea and drowned themselves. So these are also spirits that inhabit, people. So that's another thing. Yeah, you may be strong spiritually and all that, but for you every day you have to fight off an unclean spirit because it's around you, it's in your vicinity. That's not pleasant, is it? So every day, right? Because you're around someone, not you're around someone, but someone is in your vicinity and they have an unclean spirit. Now every day you got to fight that thing off. Nah, bro, you want your own space. You want a space where you're nice, is peace, where you can rest your head, where nobody's got to intrude on you, sabotage you. These are unclean spirits. And it's many, not one, many. Oh, another thing, key thing, could be in an area that's heavy witch activity, witchcraft, witch coven. Again, another thing I've experienced. Another thing, right? I've told you about that already, right? Told you about that, right? People coming in and out doing witchcraft, right? So these are the things you also have to keep in mind as well and realize, yes, spiritual warfare is very, very real. Very real. Protect yourself at all costs, right? So we went to that one more thing, Proverbs. And don't be impulsive. Keep a level head. Don't engage with. Listen, when it comes to mad people, if you clearly know someone's cuckoo, like complete mad, well, you listen. You don't. I remember when I was younger, and this when I was on an estate, and I'll never forget. This was like an old man, and he said, "All right, how you doing?" And this was the older brother. He said to me, "Don't talk to him. Don't talk to him." Because this man, I don't know if he was a drug addict or alcoholic, but he said, don't talk to him. Everything is spiritual. There's people out here, and this ain't to sound hold it in there. There's certain people you just don't engage with. It's simple as that. The only time Yahushua was engaging with demonic spirits or unclean spirits when he was rebuking them. And even then, he didn't even need to do that because they knew who he was. They would run and all types of things. So I hope this is just giving you understanding of just use wisdom, apply it, stay out of the way. Because that's the advice I've been given as well when I've told certain people about certain scenarios that have been taking place. The main advice I've been given is just stay out of the way, get on with what you're getting on with, and you should be fine. All right? But every time I've done that, certain things still pop up. You know what I mean? There's certain things still pop up. You've had people that I don't even know, I've never even met, trying to get my attention. You know what I mean? Intruding, privacy, intrusion, all them type of things there. I'm not going to mention these people's names. Certain neighbors and all that. Eavesdropping on my conversations, watching what I'm doing. That's weird behavior. Why aren't these people locked up? Why aren't these people investigating? I don't have any technology where I can see through someone's house or hear what they. I don't have nothing like that. I don't know. Maybe I should get something like that to protect my own self. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to take measures. I'm not doing that. I don't know when you're eating. I don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So this is apparently this is through government funding. So they say. It's through government funding that these people are able to do this. But that's why you go, speak about it. I can speak about it because I've been through this for several years now. So I know the ins and outs. I know what people do. I know how predictable they can be. Right? You got people surveilling other people in their homes illegally and outside of their homes illegally. Who's giving them permission to do that? And how could you justify that type of thing? That can only be done, from what I know, it can only be done through some form of law enforcement. It can't be done no other way. Or through a maintenance worker or some form of law enforcement. Nobody else can get away with it. How else can you? That's the only way it can be done. If they knock on someone's door, like a neighbor's door, and say, "Yeah, this person, he's under investigation. Is it alright if we just put this device? Can we just put this device up in your house, please, so we can just monitor him?" That's the only way it can be done. The only way. No other way. Oh, can we just put these cameras up so when he steps out, we can see when he's going? There's no other way it can be done. There would have to be a justifiable means, right? If you're monitoring someone, you can't just knock on someone's door. Yeah, we just want to put this monitoring device in. No, it would have to be a justifiable means, which is not justifiable anyway. It's not. So this is that certain people are doing these type of things, and this is all done to sabotage an individual. I know the inside and outs of this, man. This program, I know because I've been through it. I've been through it proper, like high level stuff. High level stuff. I know about the lighting systems that they use as well. Because sometimes it's not sometimes it's lighting system with cameras that emits heavy level of radiation. So sometimes it's lighting systems that are on people's walls or connected to their houses where they can see you through it. And it pierces through the walls. I know about all this stuff, but that's another lesson. But let's go back to Proverbs now, Baba Kishar, Baba Kishar. And try not to get caught up in all that. As long as we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, you're behaving yourself, you're not causing any trouble, I think you should be fine. You should be fine, right? And make sure you have activities as well. You're looking after yourself mentally. Because there is certain people, they're trying to break down your mental. And that's insidious, bro. That's insidious. That's wicked, man. That's wicked. You get what I'm saying, bro? So you gotta do things to make sure you're good. And it is important to socialize. It is important. You may be a person that says, "I don't really feel like socializing today." No. That's how they want you to think. Excuse me just a minute. That's how they want you to think, right? Because if you don't socialize, that's not good for you, bro. We're created to be social creatures, so every now and then you link up with a brother, right? Link up, right? You link up with a brother, you're good. And these things are harder for them to do because then you have someone around you that saw what you just saw, right? That's what. What do you think predators do? What do you think opportunists and predators do? They stalk the prey to see if there's anyone else there. Is anyone else there? That's what predators do. So when there's another man around you, they're not doing them type of things there. They have to scurry in. You know what I'm saying? So just use wisdom. We're gonna shut off on this Proverbs. Baba Kishar, Baba Kishar, Baba Kishar. Baba Kishar 3. I've noticed a lot of weird, strange stuff happening. My son, let not them depart from their eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. Discretion is being discreet. So also don't be telling these people every single thing you do. And if they do know through a monitoring device, well, that's because they monitored you or put a sound device within your household. So just stay wise in what you're doing. Okay, don't be stupid. And if it gets really bad concerning the energy weapons, get yourself a meter or get yourself a professional, because you can have professionals as well to come in and check on any EMF readings and where it's coming from. You can actually hire these people as well. I've got the numbers. You can hire them to come in just to do a check concerning EMF, ELF, or anything that's any wiring that may be loose or any dirty electricity. You can check all those things. Or you may need to get a rewiring because you never know. Something could have been, you don't know what these, you know about this program, right? They do this type of stuff. They have people, I've heard people, they break into homes. I heard these people break into homes, man. Break in. You know what I'm saying? You just don't overlook it. Don't certain things, don't overlook it. Just use wisdom and use discretion when it comes. If you believe you're on this so-called program and you're being targeted, because it is real And some will say conspiracy. Conspiracy means to conspire. When a group of people get together and conspire. That's the meaning of conspiracy. And there's different conspiracy. It can be conspiracy to set up to plant drugs on a person, conspiracy to murder, conspiracy to lie, conspiracy, anything. So when it comes to the electronic type thing, oh, that's a must because I've had it, bro. I've been in here. The shit's fuzzing up, bro. I'm talking about the wiring. The wiring. That's how I know that's some contractor type stuff. That's some contracting type of stuff. They're the only ones that can get away with that type of thing. All right? Unless it's some taser or something. You know what I'm saying, bro? I think a taser could do that as well. But get a checkup. Make sure you have the right people around you, man. Get check up. Get someone to come. It don't cost much. I think it's how much do they charge? You can get an evaluation, right? And just get the place checked out. Make sure the wiring's all done. Everything's all right. And you can buy these things by yourself. Get yourself an EMF meter just to check as well. Because this meter, it checks where the direction of the voltages are coming from. And to see, because you never know, it could be coming from upstairs, could be coming from the left of you, could be... Get these things, man. It will help a lot. It will help a lot. Hope this was edifying. I'll shut off here and until the next time. Shalom. Shalom.